And he tells her pastor and says, my husband is beating me a lot. How often? He beats me every day. He beats you every day. And they try to connect with the husband, and the husband is nowhere to be brought in to meet with the pastor and the leaders and talk about the problem. And the wife, several times, she comes quite swollen and complaining, and eventually they get to the man. And they say, look, this is the most embarrassing story, that every single day you beat up your wife. And the wife says, yes, every day when he walks in, I open the door, and the first thing I get is a slap. What kind of a marriage is this? And then, since they've not talked to the man all these days, and then they come and ask him and say, now what happens? And he says, every day she opens the door, she goes, alarm fuel. And so, because she does that, what do? I slap her. Now here's the point that I'm driving at. Men emotionally also have these boxes. Okay? When men are in an angry emotion, they stay longer in that. Bali fuluafi. I used to have an uncle. Bali bafulusha last week. Bali fuluafi. And there's some employees where bali fuluafi were boss or director. Today is not the best day. Now fulu. And they stay long in that box. And if you are going to allow certain boxes and cause a man to enter in because he's frustrated and because you've pushed him there, they tend to stay long in there, and they tend to do at times what that box seems to suggest. A woman will get annoyed and will have some emotion control, and Liz will be attached, and she can even laugh and then come back to her anger. A man will stay long in there. Another good example would be when you have a funeral. Men will be at a funeral, and they would have expressed their emotions by feeling bad, and they'll sit and feel so bad and eventually move away and start talking about something else. They've already moved away from that box. And other people would come from the village, Africa. Men have already moved away from that sorrowing box. Okay? Mm-hmm. They will welcome and say, oh, and you'll be there, oh, you'll cry, and they'll wait for you. Because they've already moved away from that box, and after you finish, oh, Mochendashan, oh, okay. You see, the problem with that's not our board. And all of a sudden the topic changes. Why? That's the box they are in. They're just waiting for him to come in. And after he's finished, he'll join them. With women, because of this winding, they started very well by morning. Oh, okay. And they talk about and others are like, let them come cheer up. About Senko, and the story will be going on. And then Vanachite comes to get who has arrived? That's a sister from Mungu. Oh, Africa. Oh! They try it. Why? They wind back. They have not got to the end. And they easily walk back and again. Now for the men, it doesn't matter what's come. And he's waiting for you to join him in that box. Okay. The unfortunate part is when a man enters the nothing box on the funeral. When they enter that, they are so perhaps hurt and affected, and they enter the nothing box and you expect him to do something, to contribute, and he's just in the nothing box. And at times we assume the truth is just in the nothing box. He's doing nothing about the funeral. So those are the people, if you've ever heard Vayam Kalipila Pachi, you've ever heard of those. I'm only a because he was in this nothing box for a long time. So those are the differences. Now as we understand those differences, we need to realize that those differences are beautiful. That's what makes us different. We need to begin to look at each other from those windows. That should make us, the wives, you the wives, look at your husband and say, okay, this man has boxes.